Welcome everyone to another session of Study Time with KP. I'm KP, and today we'll be continuing with flowcharts. We only have 7 days left to study. Can you believe it? Only 7 days left before the exam. So I really hope you guys are using all the material out there to get better. And if you have any questions at all, just drop them in the comments. I will try to help you as best as I can. So without any further delay, let's lead right back into the question and practice. All right, this question, we had done the algorithm in the previous session. So now we'll be looking at moving this algorithm to be a flowchart, right? So we look at the question. So pay attention to the right side of the screen. That's where we'll be making the updates, right? Use the algorithm to complete the following table. All right, so this algorithm on the left, we're going to use it to complete the table. For each step, write the line number of the statement if it is represented in the algorithm or none if it is not represented. Draw a corresponding flowchart symbol. So we'll be looking at the flowchart symbols, right? If you don't remember what they are, let's take a look at, let's do a little reminder of what they are, right? We have the process box, which explains what the process is to be carried out, whatever calculation or actions. We have input, output, values, input or output values typed in or displayed on the screen, decision box, decision with yes or no, true or false answer, the terminator, which is start and stop of the algorithm, the flow line, which tells you the order of the instructions, right? So that's what we'll basically be doing, right? First one says input output and tell which line number the statement is in. So we look at our algorithm, right? Do we have any input or output? We look at, and let me number the lines so that we can know, right? Line 1. To move faster, I won't number the lines. What I'll do is just copy the line, right? So we're looking for input output. We know that this line is an output, right? This is an output. So this one would be an output here, right? Do we see any others? Yes, when we accept the day, that's an input, right? Do we see any other? Yes, when we print the salary, that's an output. Any other? Yes, when we print the salary again here, that's an output. So we found more than an instance of input and output here, right? Now we need to write what the symbol would be. What symbol would you use to do this one, right? What symbol would you use for an input and output? Now, usually the input and it's a parallelogram. Now, let me try to draw this. Forgive me. So we need a parallelogram, and that is what you would use to put in your input. Parallelogram, right? For an input output. Next one, a process. What would you use for a process? Process would be a rectangle. So try, I hope I'm trying to draw the lines as straight as I can. Process would be a rectangle. Now, what lines in the algorithm would be a process, right? So the line where you're assigning 90 to rate, that's a process. The salary, calculating the salary. What else would be a process? Calculating a new salary would also be a process, right? So those would be the processes, right? Next one, decision. What do we use for a decision in a flowchart? We use a diamond, right? So we trying to draw my diamond as best as I can, right? That's what you use for a decision. So where do we see that? Do we see that happening in this algorithm? Yes, we have decision. We have a condition here. If the salary is greater than 450. So yes, this line would be a decision. Terminator. Do we have a terminator? Yes, we do. We have start and we have stop, right? So that's easy. Start and stop. And what do we use for terminator? We use an oval, right? An oval. So that's how we look at the algorithm and try to determine which symbols we would use based on the lines, what they're doing, what the statement is doing. We have an input, a process, decision, and terminator. So we're doing the same thing for this one, the other one, where we're going to look at the algorithm that we wrote, and we're going to try to identify the symbol, flowchart symbol, based on which ones are input, output, process, decision, terminator, right? This algorithm was getting a score and determining which one was the highest score. So do we have any input or output? Yes, we do. Here where we input the score. That's an input. Anywhere else? Do we have anything that we're displaying? Yes, we are. Print highest score. That is an output. Right? And we said the symbol that we use for input or output is a parallelogram. Right? Right. Next one, process. Do we have any process? Yes. We are assigning 0 to highest. Highest equal to score. Those two would be inside the process box. What symbol would we use for this? We would use the rectangle. Yes, we would use a rectangle for this. So the rectangle. I know this doesn't look much like a parallelogram, but yes, it is a parallelogram. Up top. Now, what would we use for a decision? We know diamond is what we use for a decision. And are there any decision? Yes, where we comparing the score and highest. So that would be a decision. Are there any more? No. Terminator, yes, we do. We have start and we have stop. right? And in that we use an over. Let's continue. Now name and draw the symbol that is suitable for each of the following statements. All right. Indicates the end of flowchart, the end. So you use for the end of a flowchart, you use the terminator. Right? And you would put stop. Performs a calculation. For performs a calculation, we would use the process, which is a rectangle process. Directs the flow of data to another symbol. We will use the arrow for that. The flow line. Asks a question, which is the decision. You're asking a question. It will be a yes or no, true or false. It's a diamond. Prints a result. So that's an output. So you use the input output symbol. It's a parallelogram. Draw the flowchart symbol, including suitable text for each of the following statements. First one, display the message, call a taxi. Display. Display is an input or output option. So it's an output. So we would use the parallelogram, right? And inside of the parallelogram, we'll write call a taxi. Right? Read a value into a variable. Read is an input. So it would be a parallelogram again. Bear with me with these tools, but we are getting the message. We're getting the essence and understanding of it. So it's an input, and we would put read age. All right. Add 15 to a variable age and store the result in a variable old. So we're going to add 15 to a variable age. So adding to age, the variable called age, and we'll be adding 15 to it, and we'll be storing the value in a variable called old. That's all that is asking. So that would have been a process, right? And we put that in a rectangle. Double the value of a variable named cost. We're going to double the value of a variable named cost. So the variable is going to be called cost. We're going to double the value. That's you're going to multiply by 2, right? And we would put that in a rectangle, a process box. Ask if the taxi has arrived. Ask. From your asking, you know it's a decision, yes or no. The answer would have been a yes or no. So you would have to put that in a decision box. So let me see if I can do this better. So let me see if I can do this better. It would be, has taxi arrived? That's what we're asking, right? Has the taxi arrived? And we put that in a diamond, right? Because the answer can either be a yes, or a no. That's a decision. On this one, use the pseudocode below to draw the corresponding flowchart segment. So we will drawing a flowchart. Let me see if I can get some space here for us to have enough space to draw the flowchart. All right. Now we know that's a flowchart, so we start with start. Right. We have a start, and that should be in an oval. It says while word is not equal to page. So that we know, PAGE, that we know should be in a decision box because that requires a yes or no. Is that yes or no? Yes. Don't laugh at my decision box, but that's a diamond. All right. Yes or no. So yes or no. When it's yes, you're going to input word. So you're going to input word. You're going to accept that. And that should be in a parallelogram. Right? If word is equal to page, that's another decision. So you're going to say word equal to page. That's another decision. It's a diamond. I'm trying. So remember your arrows. So if word is equal to page, what are you going to do? Let me fix this. See if I can fix this. Word equal to page. I would say that should be diamond. Right? There's an arrow. If it's equal to page, what are we going to do? Yes. It will display, and displays in a rectangle. Is a parallelogram. It's going to display. Okay. And if it's no, it's going to display oh no. And display oh no. Right? What happens next? Now these two would need to meet. So what happens next? It meets, and it will simple now go, and we would have yes, they will meet, and go back to the beginning of loop and go again. Right? And we say that if it's no, if we had while word not and it's no, it would just stop. Because we must have one start, we must have a terminate, one end, right? And that would be our flowchart. See, it doesn't look pretty, but it gets the job done, right? For this session, right, we practice some algorithms, we practice some pseudocode, some flowchart. So I hope this has given you a little confidence. Just keep practicing, and I'll see you guys in the next session. Bye.